I'm about to show you which agents I picked for each map that overall helped me win more games and eventually get me to Radiant. If you're struggling with a certain map in rank, this video is definitely for you. I'm going to show you bailout agents for each map, ones that work for me and ones that are just strong in general. So we all know that Jett and Reyna are basically like the best two agents in the game and probably have the most impact if you're trying to carry a team. But I'm going to exclude those from this list. I'm going to focus on other characters that are really strong on every single map. So I'm going to start off with the newest map, Breeze. And for Breeze, my top 3 agents that are probably the most meta and strongest on this map have got to be Viper, Skye, and Brimstone. The third pick is a little weird, but I'll explain why later. So personally, I don't play Skye, but she is probably the most meta pick on this map. But I'm going to go over Viper first. I'm going to show you exactly what I do because honestly, I don't even do that much as Viper, but she's just so strong. And if you don't have a Viper on this map, the chances of you winning are just so slim. Like, I dodge every single time there's not a Viper on my team. That's the whole reason why I started playing Viper too, is because when I didn't have a Viper on my team, the game is just over. You have no chance most of the time. You probably have a 10% chance of winning if you have no Viper. First things first, like I said, there's not much on this character that you even really need to know. It's just having the character and knowing the lineups just makes the game so much easier for you. So here's just the regular wall on A. You pop. Now, when you pop in this wall, make sure you're telling your team every time it's going up, every time it's going down. Simple communication. Secondly, don't pop your wall, because a lot of Vipers, they will pop their wall to go this way. If their wall is up, your wall needs to be down. Because once their wall runs out, that's when you pop your wall and you tell your team to go. Now, there's 2 plant spots. Hopefully you have a Sage. If you have a Sage, tell them wall this. Now, this is the only lineup I have, which is the regular one right here. I normally don't ever peek. I try to get my teammate to plant there. I'll toss a orb from right there. And here is the lineup. Put yourself in this corner of the rock. Now you see the crosshair above my molly, above the thing. I'm going to zoom in on it. You just put it on the corner of this thing right here. Just like that. And you just click. I can't stretch the bomb at all. So most of the time I try to tell my team to stay in cave, not to peek. I let it delay as long as possible, and I'll throw one, and then I'll delay the second one a little bit, and every single time I'll just wrap mid, because what ends up happening is all my team will die. I pop my cloud so they're weak while my molly's on it. I wrap mid. By the time I get here,
poison's off.
They're just now getting on it. And sometimes I'll even pop my wall while I'm coming through double door, because most of the time they're going to be deep. They're going to be pushing you, looking for you back here, and you're going to be right here. You're going to be able to cheese them off the bomb. Alright, now for the B lineup, I don't really use this as often. It's a regular wall. Make sure you're lining it up with half wall or broken wall, whatever you call it.
Toxins going up.
And I try to tell my team to plant on the wood plank, because that's where the molly's gonna land. Try and get your orb on there. Here's the lineup spot. Get to the plank. Let's run the plank. There's this little pink flower. Yeah, the pink flower. You go up from it, there's like a little grayed out square on the left. That's where I line up the little dot. I'll zoom in on it. It's above the crosshair. I'll line it up there, go up a little bit, right there on the little grayed out spot, and just shoot it.
Poison orb emitting.
But yeah, that's as simple as it gets. You get the bomb down as Viper, and you pretty much win every time if you stay alive. For defense, I don't do anything crazy. I just normally put my wall up right here.
Toxins going up.
I try and save it when they pop their wall. If they're getting onto site, here's a molly. I just W key above this bush, aim your crosshair above the bush, and W key, shoot it. Should land on default. Normally just throw that every time they tap the plant. That way it forces them to plant here.
Here.
That's really it. Like, I really don't know that much on Viper, but as soon as I started playing her on this map, my win rate went way up. I think I have a 70% win rate on Viper on this map. And I don't even know that many things. Like, it's just the simple get the bomb down and you don't lose, basically. I'm not going to talk too much about Skye because honestly I don't really play Skye. I played her a few times, but she's just overall strong on this map. Just taking A with Skye is just so strong with her dog, her flashes. Her ult's really good on this map too. The reason why I said Brimstone is the third is because I sometimes duo with somebody and he plays Brimstone, And I think we're 3-0 on this map when we play Viper Brimstone. Brimstone's only good if you got a Viper, in my opinion. Because if you have a lineup as well, the plant delay is just even stronger. And Brimstone's molly on defense is just strong overall, especially on B. Alright, so it's the same spot. You literally get in this corner again. There's a little dot right there. You see that dot? You just put your the little dot that's above the stim beacon. Or not the stim beacon, the molly sign. Goes right there, right on that orange dot. And you shoot. And you gotta remember too, if you have your ult, like there's just no way you lose this round. If you got 2 Viper mollies, a Brim molly, and an ult, like there's no reason you should be losing offenses. But yeah, if you duo with somebody, Viper Brim is super strong on this map. I don't think I've ever lost with that combo. Alright, for the second map, we have Icebox. And this is a no-brainer for me. Viper and a Sage. If you don't have a Viper and a Sage on your team, you should dodge, like dead ass. It's too good. Like, I hate being a meta slave and all, but like, bruh, Viper and Sage, they're just way too OP on this map. You need them to play offense, not so much defense, but mainly offense. Especially Sage more than Viper too. But I'm gonna show you the things I know about Viper on this map, because this is who I play on this map. I sometimes play Sage, only if nobody else will. I'm just going to show you every single thing I know on. So we'll start off on A side of the map. You do the regular wall like this that lines up with screens. Crazy. Honestly, I don't ever even wall A. I wall B every single round. You really don't need a wall that bad on A. And it fucks with the other team if you're just throwing a B every single round and you end B, or you're just hitting A. Like, it forces them to stay there. So I just default throw my wall. Right off the beginning of the round, there's like a little pillar thing up there. I put my crosshair here. W key throw. This will smoke off the jet if they're opping, or anybody in general. So that's just a really good cloud in general. Here is a molly for default. Just get in this corner. There's like a little slant here. I just put my crosshair above there. You can shoot. That lands on default. If your Sage walls this right here, and your team's planning right here, just aim it up at the yellow, at the rope. W key, bounce off that wall. Lands there. And an even more simpler one for default, get up here, shoot off the corner of that fucking E-box, and it lands on default. Right, if you need a mid smoke, here's a mid smoke. Let me bring this back. This lands on top boiler. Just like a little light post here. You just line it up to the edge, a little bit below, right there. Throw. And if people try and peek on this right side, they're gonna get fucked. So if you watch it, it is hard for them to peek out of it, but it is possible. They're just gonna peek out of it really slow, so make sure you're watching this. If you're playing against a Viper too and they throw this, you know that this is a good gap too. You can play it. All right, 4B standard wall. You can even do it off the beginning of the round too. If you look up, it goes all the way through. You can see. Now, I normally don't pop it obviously until my teammates get a little bit closer. The molly lineups, I mean, I'll just, you know, toss my orb like I normally do. Molly lineups over here. I'm sure everyone knows about this one. You just get in the corner. Now, the way I line it up is there's a star here and there's a little thing here. I just aim at the black part right here. Jump throw. And there it lands. Now for the ults on this map, honestly, I try to hug this wall and get it to right about here. If you can get your ult there, that's good. If not, I mean, back here is not too bad either. I try to get it right there. Now, if you have to stay in your ult, the thing I suggest is playing yellow, right in front of this yellow box, because a lot of people, they're spamming here and here, right? They're going to ping those spots because they're both the common angles. They're just going to spam those spots. If you're in the middle right here, you're not lined up with anything, so your chances of living are just way better when you're right here. If you know the site's really clear, the best ult spot's right there, a little bit past the plant zone, and there should be a little gap right here and you could play off of to shoot people through when they're crossing from snowman. So if you can get that ult right there, it's really good. All right, for Viper on defense, pretty simple. I normally go B every round. Not gonna lie, if your team can't hold A, there's not much you can do. It's really just a rotation simulator. What's nice though is you could solo hold B, have a Sage player mid or something, and you could almost stack 4A, but sometimes they still lose it. But this is the normal shit I do every round. I do this wall right here because it's a good retake wall if you're retaking the site. You know, it's blocking off all of yellow. It's really good.
Toxin screen down.
Here's the one way I normally do. Line up in this corner. Now there's like little hooks. There's like 3 hooks. There's one there, there, and there. I go to the second one right here. I put my crosshair a little bit under right here. And now you jump and right click. And it lands right there. That is the one way. When I pop that one way, I normally play snowman. And what happens is I just hold this. And when the one way is about to fade, I'll go up on these barrels.
Poison's off.
And you can see on top of the little platform, tube, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people go up there. You'll be able to cheese some people. A lot of people don't expect that. You know, when they pop their wall, normally they pop their wall, it comes up to here, right? So normally, when they pop their wall, I'll get in front of the wall with my one way, and I'll try and get one and back out. So they think they're safe with the wall. That's when you play aggro. You get your kill, and you get out instantly. Now, when I get my ult, I normally don't ever ult B. I don't think it's very good over here. I mean, you could ult way up here. But normally, what happens is you'll be able to hold down B, and A will be the problem. More times than not, A is the problem, not necessarily you. If you're playing retake with your retake wall, like, they try not to fuck with B, I've noticed. So what I'll do if I get my ult is I will tell my team, throw my retake wall, somebody come play B, and I will go ult on A. I found when I'm losing defense on this map, like, it's mainly because they're just taking A over and over, and I'm playing retake simulator. So I just come over here, pop ult. Now instead of crossing this way, because I've died a couple times, I've learned my lesson going that way. I normally just go all the way around after I pop my ult. Come back to here. Play around this area. Back up if you have to. Watch out for util. Watch out for getting spam. Make sure you tell your team that maze is open, because a lot of times I'll ult and everybody will just leave. They'll just go hold mid. But you need to let them know that this lane right here is open. Teammates leave. Alright, for Sage. So Sage, there's not anything crazy you really need to know. Honestly, you just need to know how to put your wall down fast and which walls to do. Now on A, there's 3 different walls you can do. Super simple. You can do this one. Alright, and plant default or plant here, but just know that they can get up on the on this thing, come up. So that's probably the worst wall, but the most basic wall. If you can get this wall down though and get bombed down, like, you're doing your team a fucking favor. Wall number 2, another like just solid easy wall. Come up here, do that wall. You can plant behind it. So that way, if they want to kill you, they got to swing you completely. And if they swing you, they're open to 3 different angles while you're planting in this little cubby right here. So that, in my opinion, is second best wall. All right, and the third wall. Now here's a tip with Sage too. If you're looking into the wall while you're planting, the wall's gonna break every time. See how it breaks? If you're wondering why that happens, it's just because you're looking into the wall. The only way to fix it is just look away from the wall. So make sure when you're planting, if there's a Sage wall here, whether you're Sage or not, just look away from the wall and it won't break. Now the worst thing you can do as Sage on this map is come up to here and keep your wall out and take your time to fucking put this wall down. I see so many people do this, and you could tell they've never played Sage before because they come up here and they try and figure out the wall and they just get fucking destroyed by the kid Raptors that peeks them. Now the best way you can avoid this without having to wing it every time is come up with a lineup. Like, it sounds crazy, but it's gonna win you more rounds, more games, etc. You can do this on every map as Sage. I literally just made this one up too. Put your crosshair on here, and you want to get it slanted, so it's right there. The left side is lined up right there. So put crosshair here. See how the wall's lined up there? So once you got lined up, you clear it like you normally would. Come up here, jump up, wall out. Easy, quick plant. Having it lined up, ready to go, will make it 10 times easier for you not to die when you're trying to wall it. And you can do this for all the wall spots, but this one's probably the best one if you're planning for your spawn. If not, simple plant. This one's pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. This one's solid too. Same thing goes for B. There's really only 2 walls to do. Do that one. That way you can't get wall banged. You plant up here or here. You could just do this one. You plant here. Now, if you're playing Sage, just do your team a favor and get the bomb every round and just plant the fucking bomb. I can't stress that enough. Don't That is your only goal as Sage on this map. Get the bomb down and grab orbs for your ult. Because if you're going to be bomb bitch all game, like if you're playing Sage, you're getting so many ult points right here. Just going B and then also getting the plant points too. Like you're going to get your res. Just grab the bomb and plant. That is your only job as Sage on this map. If you want to win, grab the bomb, plant. It's that. You see so many people playing Sage, they just sit back yellow. They don't have bomb. Like if somebody else has bomb, you gotta literally run up and wall for them. Like that's bad. Like just grab the bomb and plant it yourself. It's that simple. All right, so the next map is Bind. Now on Bind, this used to be my worst map. All right, my absolute worst map. I think I had a 30% win rate with like over 100 games played. My Bind win rate was trash last season, but this season I started off. I revamped playing Cypher on this map. I learned a couple lineups, setups, etc. And now I don't know what my win rate is now, but I think at the beginning of the season I started off like 8-1 with Cypher on this map. And if you've seen my video before, the Cypher video, you'll know I literally only do like one setup and it works every single game. So I'm just going to show you that shit real quick. My two picks on this map are going to be Cypher and Sova. Sova is also really strong on this map, as long with Raze as well. Raze is super strong on this map. My go-to setup, and the one you've seen in the video, I go for the one-way first, because if you miss the one-way, you got 2 cages, you can pick them up. So you just come up to this box. I really don't know the lineup. I kind of just wing it. It's like somewhere around here. Right now, the second cage, I look for the black dot right here. I look for the black dot right here. Out of all the little cracks and stuff, I go to the black dot, go right on it while I'm looking straight down, a little bit down to the right, go to the bottom right, throw my cage there. Now after that, if it's the very first round, what I'll do is I'll put a trip here. That way, if they come in, they get hit by this. You can hear them come in too. They get hit by this. If they try to go in the box, you're going to hear them fall more times than not. The second trip, I will put either here. It's a good kill trip, or right there. Now for the cam, now that you got to do this really fast, you got to practice it. Sometimes you cannot get all this stuff off in the freeze time because it just takes so long. I like to put on this little wire and I make sure that it's pointing to the left. You can see how it goes middle, right, middle, left. How it moves. I would try to aim it towards the left. You get more freedom out of it. I'll just sit on my cam normally. I'll pre-fire my thing on the... I'll pre-fire my crosshair on the cage. Stay on my cam. You can actually hear if they're running in hookah, or you'll see them hit your trip. You just gotta hope that they don't wallbang you, but on the first round they probably won't wallbang you. Stay on my cam. Once they come in, pop it, and you have a one-way. This whole box is wallbangable, so if they start moving to the left, just wallbang the box. Now another variation, if you don't want your cam there, say you don't have a trip, maybe you only have one trip, put my cam right here. And you can see when they cross into hookah. So as soon as they even are able to push this right here, you're gonna be able to see them on your cam. And you can pop your one. So again, looking up at your cage while you're in your cam, as soon as they cross, tag them with the cam. They'll probably shoot your cam. That's when you pop this and swing. So once you've used this one way and you just got to kill, if you know that there's one long, that's what this cage is for, is to help you cross back. But also, it's a really good angle for this right here. You have like the most insane head glitch and people just don't expect you to be there. Not only is this OP for this angle right here, for someone long, they're going to think that this is clear, so they're just going to swing out and not even think about this little angle right here. They're not even going to know that exists. If anything, they might be spamming right here. So that cage is super OP. Alright, so once that setup works, here's another setup I do. I do the same cam. Get up on here. This is my favorite cam right here for sure. I normally just do this until they find it. I'll do that cam. And then I'll do kill trips. Now there's a couple variations you could do. Now when I do kill trips, what I call kill trips is I play elbow, right? And the only counter to this is if they sage wall it. But if they sage wall, you could just break it. But I'll throw 2 cages here. I'll throw one here and one a little bit deeper. Like that. And these, there's a variation of kill trips you can use. But there's one there. One here. Could even do that one. That one's solid as well. That one works for me a lot. I'll just play here. Stay on my cam first. Once I see them coming in, I'll try and tag one. Pop one of the cages. Play off the trip. The other cage is for you to sneak out. Elbow. You can sneak out this way. I mean, you got your cam here, so you'll know if you can sneak out this way. Not this way. Now, eventually, if you are just shutting them down at B, a lot of the times, what I'll do, if I don't think they're going to go B anymore, I'll either move my whole setup to A, or I'll just give my teammates 1 or 2 trips or a cam at A, just to help them out. Stairs trip normally works at least once a game. That one's super good. If I'm playing on A, I'll actually double cage both of these. I'll put a trip there, like on the stairs, like I said, and I'll put this one here. Really solid cam I'll use is this one up here, just jump throw. Lands up here, this one's really solid. I'll normally just sit right here, sit on my cam. Once I see them coming in, I'll wait for them to hit the trip. Maybe I'll pop my cage and play in the cage, wait for them to hit my trip, and then I'll just spray them down. That's kind of my basic stuff I do with Cypher on this map. The reason why I chose Cypher in the first place to start playing on this map is because when I noticed when I was playing this map, even as a duelist, if I was playing A, if any team ever took B and they got in, it is impossible to retake B more times than not unless they throw. Like, it's just so hard to retake B. So I just started playing B as Cypher and holding it down, and I have more control over the game. And if they stop going B, then that's when you just start giving your teammates trips on A, and you just have more control on defense. Like, it's more in your hands than it is RNG. Offense, Cypher's pretty simple. I mean, you just put trips for the flank, and the rest is like all you to lurk or do whatever you want with your team. This trip is probably like the best trip in here because you put it anywhere else, there's so many little things you can jump on, like these little barrels, all this stuff to jump. If I really think someone's gonna flank, I'll do one of these trips, but sometimes these are a little inconsistent, but it should work. There's not much else on Cypher on offense besides, you know, camming the cross for long or camming hookah to clear hookah when you're taking hookah instead of using a Sova drone. The other strong thing I can think of on offense is if you're going A, if you can get into U-Haul, playing U-Haul as Cypher is so good because if you have your trips still, or 1 or 2 trips, just play off your trips in here, play off a cam, throw a cage, you know, whatever. One thing I do on the offense, if we're going through short A, hitting A in general, I'll just cam or cage off U-Haul when we're taking sight. This makes it a little bit easier to clear all these angles, so you don't gotta worry about getting swung from here. But yeah, that's pretty much it with Cypher on this map. So that's gonna be it for now. I don't want this video to get too long. If you want to see the other 3 maps, I think it's Ascent, Split, and Haven. If you want to see those 3 maps, what I do on those maps, let me know in the comments below. But make sure you leave a like. I got a couple videos in the works, so I should have a couple more videos coming out this week. I appreciate y'all. Help my channel grow. Sub if you're not already subbed. I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.